Enter Tiresias and boy. Elders of Thebes, we have come to you with one finding for both the pathway that we followed. For in this fashion must the blind be guided. What tidings, old Tiresias, are you bringing? I will inform you. I, the seer, give heed. To ignore your counsel has not been my custom. Therefore you keep Thebes on a steady course. I can bear witness to the help you gave. Mark this. You stand upon the brink of ruin. What terrible words are those? What do you mean? My meaning is made manifest by my art, and my art's omens, as I took my station upon my ancient seat of augury, where round me birds of every sort come flocking. I could no longer understand their language. It was drowned out in a strange, savage clamor, shrill, evil, frenzied, inarticulate. The whir of wings told me their murderous talons tore at each other. Filled with dread, I then made trial of burnt sacrifice. The altar was fully kindled, but no clear, bright flame leapt from the offering. Only fatty moisture oozed from the flesh and trickled on the embers, smoking and sputtering. The bladder burst and scattered into the air. The folds of fat wrapping the thigh bones melted and left them bare. Such was the failure of the sacrifice. That did not yield the sign I was seeking. I learned these things from this boy's observation. He is my guide, and as I am guide to others. Your edict brings this suffering to the city, for every hearth of ours has been defiled, and every altar. There the birds and dogs have brought their carrion, torn from the corpse of ill-starred Polynices. Hence the gods refuse our prayers, refuse our sacrifice, refuse the flame of our burnt offerings. No birds cry clearly and auspiciously, for they are glutted with a slain man's blood. Therefore, my son, consider what has happened. All men are liable to grievous error, but he who, having erred, does not remain inflexible, but rather makes amends for ill, is not unwise or unrewarded. Stubborn self-will incurs the charge of folly. Give to the fallen the honors he deserves, and do not stab him. Are you being brave when you inflict new death upon the dead? Your good I think of, for your good I speak, and a wise counselor is sweet to hear when the advice he offers proves of value. Old man, all of you shoot your arrows at me like archers at a target. You have used even the art of prophecy in your plotting. Long have the tribe of prophets traded in me like a ship's cargo. Drive whatever bargain may please you, buy, sell, heap up for yourself silver of Sardis, gold of India, yet I tell you this. That man shall not be buried. Not though the eagles of Zeus himself should bear the carrion morsels to their master's throne. Not even from the dread of such pollution will I permit his burial, since I know there is no mortal can defile the gods. But even the wisest men disastrously may fall, Tiresias, when for money's sake they utter shameful words with specious wisdom. Oh, do men understand or even consider? Consider what? Doubtless some platitude. How precious beyond any wealth is prudence. How full of evil is the lack of prudence. Yet you are sick, sick with that same disease. I will not in reply revile a prophet. You do. You say my prophecy is false. Well, all the race of seers are mercenary, and love of base wealth marks the breed of tyrants. Are you aware that you address your king? I made you king by helping you save Thebes. Wise in your art and vicious in your acts, do not enrage me. I should keep my secret. Reveal it. Speak, but do not look for profit. You too will find no profit in my words. How can you earn your pay? I will not charge. Then know this. Yes, be very sure of it. Only a few more times will you behold the swift course of the chariot of the sun, before you give as payment for the dead your own dead flesh and blood. For you have thrust a living soul to darkness, in a tomb imprisoned without pity, and a corpse belonging to the gods below you keep unpurified, unburied, unrevered. The dead are no concern either of yours or of the gods above, yet you offend them. So the avengers, the destroyers, furies of Hades and the gods, lurking in ambush, wait to inflict your sins upon your head. Do you still think my tongue is lined with silver? A time will come, and will not linger coming, that will awaken in your house the wailing of men and women. Hatred shakes the cities, hatred of you. Their sons are mangled corpses, hallowed with funeral rites by dogs or beasts or birds who bear the all-polluting stench to every city having hearth or altar. You goaded me, and therefore, like an archer, I shoot my angry arrows at your heart. Sure arrows. You shall not escape their sting. Boy, lead me home. Let him expend his rage on younger men, and let him learn to speak with a more temperate tongue, and school his heart to feelings finer than his present mood. Exeunt Tiresias and boy. Sir, he is gone, with fearful prophecies, and from the time that these dark hairs have whitened, I have known this: never has he foretold anything that proved false concerning Thebes. I also know it well, and it dismays me. To yield is bitter, but to resist and bring a curse upon my pride is no less bitter. Son of Minoechius, listen. You must listen. What should I do? Tell me, I will obey. Go, free the girl, release her from the cavern, and build a tomb for the man you would not bury. So that is your advice, that I should yield. Sir, you should not delay. The gods are swift in cutting short man's folly with their curse. How hard is it to change? Yes, I obey. I will give up what I had set my heart on. No one can stand against the blows of fate. Go yourself. These things are not for others. I will go this moment. Guards, there, all of you. Take up your axes. Quick, quick, over there. I imprisoned her myself, and I myself will set her free. And yet my mind misgives me. Never to break the ancient law is best. Exit Creon. Thou art known by many a name, O Bacchus. To thee we call. Cadmean Semele's glory and pride, begotten of Zeus, whose terrible lightnings flame, whose thunders appall. Bacchus, thou dost for us all in thy love provide. Over Icaria thou dost reign, and where the worshippers journey slow to the rites of Eleusis, where mountains shield the multitudes crossing Demeter's welcoming plain, thou makest this mother city of Maenads thine own. A city beside the rippling flow of the gentle river, beside the murderous field where the teeth of the dragon were sown. In the torches' wind-blown flare thou art seen, in their flicker and smoke, where the twofold peaks of Parnassus gleam, Corsian nymphs, as they move through the ruddy glare, thee, Bacchus, invoke. They move in their dance beside the Castalian stream, O Bacchus, guardian divine, down from the slopes of Nysa's hills, where a mantle of ivy covers the ground. From headlands rich with the purple grape and the vine, thou comest to us, thou comest. O be not long, thy triumph the echoing city fills. The streets are loud with thy praises, the highways resound with immortal song. Thou honorest highly our Theban city, thou and thy mother by lightning slain. Our people sicken, O Bacchus, have pity. Across the strait with its moaning wave, down from Parnassus, come thou again, come with thy healing feet and save. O thou who leadest the stars in chorus, jubilant stars with their breath of fire, offspring of Zeus, appear before us. Lord of the tumult of night, appear, with the frenzied dance of thy maenad choir. Bacchus, thou giver of good, draw near. Enter messenger. You of the house of Cadmus and Amphion, no man's estate can ever be established firmly enough to warrant praise or blame. Fortune, from day to day, exalts the lucky and humbles the unlucky. No one knows whether his present lot can long endure. For Creon once was blessed, as I count blessings. He had saved this land of Cadmus from its foes. He was the sovereign and ruled alone, the noble father of a royal house. And now all has been lost, because a man who has forfeited his joy is not alive. He is a living corpse. Heap, if you will, your house with riches, live in regal pomp. Yet if your life is unhappy, all these things are worth not even the shadow of a vapor put in the balance against joy alone. What new disaster has the king's house suffered? Death, and the guilt of death lies on the living. The guilt of death? Who has been killed? Who killed him? Haman is killed, and by no stranger's hand. He killed himself? Or did his father kill him? He killed himself, enraged by his murderous father. Tiresias, now your prophecy is fulfilled. Consider, therefore, what remains to do. There is the queen, wretched Eurydice. Perhaps mere chance has brought her from the palace. Perhaps she has learned the news about her son. Enter Eurydice. Thebans, I heard you talking here together when I was on my way to greet the goddess, Pallas Athena, and to pray to her. Just as I loosed the fastening of the door, the words that told of my calamity struck heavily upon my ear. In terror I fell back, fainting in my women's arms. But now, repeat your story. I shall hear it as one who is not ignorant of grief. My lady, I will bear witness to what I saw, and will omit no syllable of the truth. Why should I comfort you with words that later would prove deceitful? Truth is always best. Across the plain I guided my lord Creon to where unpitied Polynices lay, a corpse mangled by dogs. Then we besought Hecate, goddess of the roads, and Pluto to moderate their wrath and to show mercy. We washed the dead with ceremonial water. Gathering the scattered fragments that remained, with fresh-cut boughs we burned them. We heaped up a mound of native earth about his ashes. Then we approached the cavern of Death's bride, the rock-floored marriage chamber. While as yet we were far distant, someone heard the sound of loud lament in that unhallowed place, and came to tell our master. As the king drew near, there floated through the air a voice, faint, indistinct, that uttered a bitter cry. The king burst out in anguish. Can it be that I, in my misery, have become a prophet? Will this be the saddest road I ever trod? My son's voice greets me. Quickly, slaves, go quickly! When you have reached the sepulchre, get through the opening where the stones are wrenched away. Get to the mouth of the burial chamber. Look, see if I know his voice, Haman's, my son's, or if I am deluded by the gods. We followed our despairing master's bidding, and in the farthest recess of the tomb we found Antigone, hanging, with her veil noosed round her neck. And with her we found Haman, his arms flung round her waist, grieving aloud for his bride lost in death, his ruined marriage, his father's deeds. But when his father saw him, Creon cried piteously, and going in, called to him brokenly, "My son! My son! What have you done? What are you thinking of? What dreadful thing has driven you out of your mind? Son, come away. I beg you, I beseech you." But Haman glared at him with furious eyes instead of answering, spat in his face, and drew his sword. His father turned to fly so that he missed his aim. Immediately, in bitter self-reproach, the wretched boy leaned hard against his sword and drove it deep into his side. Then, while his life yet lingered, with failing strength, he drew Antigone close, and as he lay there gasping heavily, over her white cheek his blood ebbed away. The dead lie clasped together. He is wedded, not in this world, but in the house of death. He has borne witness that of all the evils afflicting man, the worst is lack of wisdom. Exit Eurydice.
What does that mean? Who can interpret it? The queen has gone without a single word.
It startles me, and yet I hope it means that hearing these dreadful things about her son, she will not let herself show grief in public, but will lament in private with her women. Schooled in discretion, she will do no wrong.
How can we tell? Surely too great a silence is no less ominous than too loud lament.
Then I will enter. Perhaps she is concealing some secret purpose in her passionate heart. I will find out, for you are right in saying too great a silence may be ominous.
Exit messenger. Enter Creon with attendants, carrying the body of Haman on a bier. Thebans, look there! The king himself draws near, bearing a load whose tale is all too clear. This is a work, if we dare speak our thought, that not another's but his own hands wrought.
Oh, how may my sin be told? The stubborn, death-fraught sin of a darkened brain. Behold us here, behold, father and son, the slayer and the slain. Pain. Only pain has come of my design. Fate struck too soon. Too soon your spirit fled. My son, my young son, you are lying dead, not for your folly, but for mine. For mine.
Sir, you have come to learn the right too late. My lesson has been bitter and complete.
Some god has struck me down with crushing weight, filling my heart with cruelty and hate, trampling my happiness beneath his feet. Grief, bitter grief, is man's fate.
Enter messenger.
Your load is heavy, sir, but there is more. That is the burden you are bearing now. Soon you must bear new woe within your house. And what worse misery can follow this? Your wife is dead, a mother like her son. Poor woman, by her own hand she has died. By her own hand she died. Death, spare me! Can you never have your fill? Never be satisfied? Herald of evil, messenger of ill, your harsh words kill. They smite me now anew. My wife is dead. You tell me my wife is dead. Death after death is heaped upon my head. Speak to me, boy, is this what you tell me true? It is no longer hidden, sir. Look there.
The body of Eurydice is disclosed through the palace doors.
Another horror that makes blind mine eyes. What further agony has fate in store? My dead son body in my arms I bore, and now beside him his dead mother lies. I can endure no more. There at the altar, with a keen-edged knife, she stabbed herself, and as her eyes were darkened, she wailed the death of Megarius, her son, who earlier had met a noble fate. She wailed for Haman. Then, with her last breath, you, as the slayer of your sons, she cursed. I am shaken with terror past belief. Is there none to end my anguish? None. No sword to pierce me. Broken with my grief, so steeped in agony that we are one. Sir, as she died, she burdened you with guilt. charging you with the death of both your sons.
And by what act of violence did she die? Hearing the shrill lament for Haman's fate, deep in her heart, she drove the bright blade home. Haman, I am your slayer. I alone. I am guilty. Only I and none other, must atone. Lead me away. The truth I own. Nothing is left except to die. If anything can be good, those words are good. For when calamity has come upon us, the thing that is briefest is the best. Draw near me, death! O longed-for death, draw near! Most welcome destiny, make no delay. Tell me my last hour, my last breath is here. I have no wish to see another day. Such things are yet to come. We are concerned with doing what must needs be done today. The future rests in other hands than ours. That is my whole desire, my whole prayer. No, do not pray. Men must accept their doom. My life's work before me lies. My folly slew my wife, my son. I know not where to turn mine eyes. All my misdeeds before me rise. Lead me away, brought low, undone. Exit Creon. The crown of happiness is to be wise. Honor the gods, and the gods' edicts prize. They strike down boastful men, and men grow bold. Wisdom we learn at last, when we are old.